again, we are here, you all. Tab Nashville Gospel Radio, WFTB 104.1 FM. Also being recorded, Sacrificial Conversations on YouTube. We are excited to be here today, darling. It's so good to see you coming off of your job on the day. You know I got to do that. I got to do it. It's so good to see you. I didn't see you until you got off work, so that's why I do these things. But we are so excited to be in the building once again.
Yes, welcome.
Yes. Monica, you got anything you want to say before we get started on tonight?
Just get ready, put your seatbelt on, because it's going to be an awesome conversation on tonight. Invite your friends, invite your family. Let everybody know to come on and join. Come on in the house.
Absolutely. Well, I told you all that this whole month, you all, we're going to try to stick with our theme about fatherhood, about men, and about a lot of different things that's going on with a lot of special fathers that I've got to know, that I'm going to get to know. But tonight, you all, we have a special interview. When I was told about this gentleman on tonight, you all, I received his bio. And when I received his bio, you all, the bio spoke volumes to me. I don't know this brother personally yet, but we know each other in the spirit because we've been talking ever since he's been here. And I know that we know each other outside of this some type of way. But he also brought his beautiful wife with him on tonight, you all. So we have a double portion for tonight's interview. Tonight, you all have the Woods in the building. I'm going to let them tell you their names because I do not want to mess them up. I do not want to do that, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves on tonight. They're going to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you all and what you all, just a quick interview before we get off into this awesome conversation we're about to have tonight, brother. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our people on tonight.
My name is Emerson Woods, senior. Glad to be here tonight to be able to have this conversation.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to help who we can while we can, brother.
That's amazing.
And I'm Fertisha Woods. His beautiful wife, as you said. Yes. We've been together for 10 years, married for 9. And so we got a lot we can talk to you guys about tonight. So we're ready to get going whenever you are.
Absolutely. Like I said, you all, I was introduced to this young gentleman through another mutual friend, one of my salon people, one of my customers at the salon. And when she sent me this bio, y'all, I was like, whoa. It really, you all, it pierced my heart when I saw what the bio had read. But when I saw it, I knew immediately for what I saw in this bio, for this brother to be able to still stand strong, still be out here in the world trying to make a difference, because he's going to talk about that difference that he's making. A lot of us would have given up. A lot of us would have stopped, but this brother kept going and is still fighting today to try to help men be better men, be better fathers, be better people. And that right there excited me because we as men, we hold on to so many things. I thank God, like I said, for a woman like what I have next to me, because a lot of men don't understand that without a helpmate, it's certain things that you couldn't make it through. You couldn't go through things in life without that person in your life. And he brought his with him. He when I called him, he said, "Can I bring my wife?" I was like, "Bro, that's gonna make it even better, because mine is gonna be in the building with me. She's attached to me. I take mine everywhere I go.
Right.
Yeah.
I am not absent without her, because she is my covering." And when you said you was gonna bring your wife, I was like, "Oh my man, it's gonna be another amazing night." So I'm gonna open up right now and let you. It's hard to start, so I'm gonna let you all start this conversation where you all want to start, and then that'll allow me to throw questions in that I want to start. So let's start out with the journey where you are at right now, in the journey in life as a married couple and you as a leader in your household as the man of your house. And I'm starting with you, bro. I got to come on, talk to me.
Man, we're in a great place right now. Like you was talking about those valleys and coming out of those valleys. We've had a few along these 9-10 years. Because nothing, you know, when you say the I do's, you're not prepared for what's to come.
Absolutely.
And especially loss, close loss, and then navigating through that. Because like you said, we hold in so much. And it took 6 years, 6 years for me to open up, to even have the conversation, to even want to seek therapy, counseling, going to grief groups, anything that really dealt with it because I didn't want to talk about it.
When we say you don't want to talk about it, so we don't leave the people hanging, bro. Let them know exactly in the best way that you can what we're actually talking about when you say that type of grief, brother. Because let's let that cat out the bag, because I don't want people to think, because y'all tonight, men, I want y'all to hear this. You have to be able to release your emotions and talk and be available to even want to heal, first of all, and then be able to help someone, because everything that you go through in life is to help someone else. I promise you all that. It's to help someone else. So I'm back at you, brother. I'm back at you, Emerson.
All right. What we're referring to is the loss of a 14-year-old child. Suicide. He was being bullied. Excuse me. Just got to high school. He was a freshman. And was being bullied. And I remember the call. We were just coming from dinner. And it was about 7:45. We pulled up at the house and got the call that he was at the hospital. He had hurt himself. And making that drive was almost like the closer we got, the more I felt. And we pulled up, and that was it. It was like, nah. Like disbelief, nah. But it took a long time. Like, I was angry for years. Man, I used to have to drink myself to sleep.
Wow.
But like you're saying, man, having that help me, like, if it wasn't for her, man, I don't know where I would be. You know, God, her, the constant encouragement, the constant little conversations, not nothing too deep or heavy, just opening up bit by bit until finally I met another brother, and we were lost, trying to find an event space where a brother was having an event. And I knew him. I knew his face. It's like, man, I know you from somewhere. And come to find out, he had lost. That's how I know him. I saw him on TV where he had lost his kid too. And so we had a little dialogue, but nothing too much. And I was riding home one day, and it just came to me, Private Tears. And that's the name of the men's support group.
Don't go too fast, bro. Bro, I have to make sure they know about that. We have to make sure that's big before. So don't give me that.
Don't get too far.
Let me slow you down a little bit, because, brother, I want you to hear me when I say this, man. I want you to hear this, because I have a son, and even hearing your voice now, it's a calming, but it's a piercing voice or sound when you speak on this thing. Let's start with the bullying thing. Let's go back to bullying. how aware of the bullying were you? I mean,
we weren't.
Okay.
We weren't aware.
Wow.
Because he was one of those kids, laughy, jokey.
Yeah.
Play video games. Just, happy-go-lucky, bubbly guy, man. Big old, just big kid.
Yeah.
And we didn't know. He never said, he never said nothing about it. And so when it happened, it was just like that. Nah, not him.
Yeah. Y'all, I have to pause right here and let you all understand why we are laughing at this particular point, y'all. We are dog sitting, and our dog has invaded the premises once again, and we are about to get him up out of here, you all. We are so sorry about this. But back to the conversation. Monica, I know you have something you want to ask or anything you want to say real quick before we go, because I don't want you to sit over there and not be
I understand you actually stole my question. I was going to ask you about the bullying, but I'm going to take you. So, was anything done to the kids that were bullying him?
No.
Wow.
So.
Okay, I'm not done with my question, sir. And I'm quite sure afterwards you went up to the school to voice your concerns about your child in the bullying. Did they help in any way?
Excuse me. I never went back to the school.
Oh, you never? Okay.
No, I never went back.
So to give a little backdrop story to fill in some holes, so we're a blended family of 5 or 6. And so his mother did go up to the school and have conversations and address some things, but it was still no recourse in the situation. Also, when we did get that call, or before we got that call, there was a call about a week before with the whole situation of the little boy that was bullying him. And I believe it was a conversation had with the parent of that child as well. But there was no real recourse to help Aaron, is just our son's name, feel any different about the situation.
Yeah.
And it came to a point where he felt like what the school was trying to make him do, he didn't feel comfortable doing. And he had basically verbally said he didn't want to do that. He was very fearful of doing what they wanted him to do. Anything you want to add to that part?
Yeah, he had also got in trouble with these kids, and ended up having to go to an alternative school for a week. So it was kind of like a suspension, but you go into this alternative school for a week. Right. And during that time, he had never been in no real trouble, no big trouble, kid stuff.
Right.
But nothing to the extent of, you getting expelled from school, excuse me, and having to be out of school. Nothing major to that sort. And this was all during that time with the bullying, the getting in trouble and the alternative school stuff. So it was all kind of like flowing into.
So what age was he at this particular time as well?
14.
14, wow. So did any of your other kids, did they say anything, did they bring up anything afterwards to say that they knew something that he was going through? Or so none of the other kids really discussed?
Nah, he was in, him and his sister were at the same high school, but never was nothing really said.
Yeah. So I'm moving on now. I'm moving on. So through this brother Woods, and it's so touching, brother. It's so touching. Through this, after going through, seeing what you saw, going through what you went through, brother, you said you had to go and get help. You had to go get counseling. You said it took you how long did it take you before you realized that you needed true help after this?
6 years.
6 years.
6 years.
So, in these 6 years, can y'all give us just a little bit of what how did you all deal with this as a married couple, y'all? I mean, because I know you shut down, bro. I know you shut down. Yeah, how?
Yeah, I love to chime in.
Please, because I'm over here lost right now for words, darling. Because I can't even look at her and even ask her because talk to us.
I would say one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do in life, and I think anyone ever has to do in life, is support someone that is in unbearable pain, and it's nothing you can do to heal that pain. So, one, we're both in pain, but not to put measurements on pain, it's a different level though, right? And so to watch my husband break down and just crumble in front of me, and there's really nothing that you can do or say that will ever touch that pain is definitely the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my life. So I personally did a lot of praying. I did a whole lot of praying. I had to be very patient and allow grace during that time. Now, when one thinks of grace, through the time, you think of 6 months, a year, maybe 2. But as he said, it was more like 6. So during that 6 years, I see him basically become a shell of a man. Quiet, not expressing his feelings at all. He's a very spiritual man, not doing the things that he was doing spiritual prior to that. Or, prior to that happening, he wasn't the same person. He did not, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but he did not pray the same. He did not talk to God the same way. We did not worship the same during that time. And so I was, like I said, trying to allow grace and be there to support him, get him out of the house, to not always be thinking about that. So that's how it started. That was probably like the first 2 years. Let's just make it through the day.
Right.
And then he definitely was very angry, and not angry with anyone in particular, just angry with life. The fact that he was having to experience this, his family was having to experience this. And then I would say, maybe about the 3rd or 4th year in is when I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute now. We've been going through this for this long. We got to find a way to come out of this dark space. And so we started to have, like he said, small conversations, because I couldn't go too deep too quick. If I even brought up anything, such as the questions that you asked here today about what happened with the bullying or anything like that, it would become an argument between us. And it was just like a blow up. We could never make it through a full conversation because he was having trouble just articulating and thinking through what happened, because it made him have to go back through all of that, right?
Are you going to tell us what helped? Are you going to give us?
I am. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
The prayer.
Thank you.
The prayer and grace with patience. And like us having those little conversations, I had to basically like pull him out of the dark space very, very slowly with little conversations like, for Aaron's birthday. Let's do a cake. Let's talk about the memories. Like, just really, really slow and babied through that whole process. And there's no one thing that anyone can do to help someone come out of that space. You just have to be there, and really, grace is one of the most important pieces outside of prayer. Prayer is number one.
Absolutely.
But we don't really understand grace today, and because we're such a microwavable society and we want everything fixed right now. And it's just not the way grace works.
One person once said to me that grief doesn't have a time limit on it, and it never. And with the losses that I've had, and I'm talking about some close losses, nothing like compared to this, brother. But when you think about people that you miss, did you get angry at God, bro?
Yeah.
You.
Man,
It's good for people to hear this, because it's not bad to be angry with God, bro. And I want people to understand that.
Excuse me.
That anger is healing in that anger, bro. It was healing that. So tell us about how when you were angry with him, what were some of the things you would say to God? Like, I know you'd be like, well, why are you gonna let this?
Why? Yeah. It was always why. Why mine? What did I do? What did we do?
Yeah.
To deserve this one. What did we do to deserve this one? It was just like, I didn't pray. I didn't go to church. It was like, why? And, when I tell you something that changed for me, it was right before New Year's. It had been a couple of years, and it was right before New Year's. And I was talking to him again, and I asked him, why? Why my son? And then, he was like, mine was first. And I said, huh? He said, mine was first. Mine was sacrificed first. My son was first. And so then it kind of like hit me like, well, okay, I'll stop asking you why. Because thinking about Jesus Christ dying for us. And God, I lost my only begotten. I know it hurts that you lost yours, but I lost mine first. And so it was kind of like a wake up,
It's amazing that you said you heard him like that, bro, because I think about the time that I've clearly heard his voice speak to me, man, and that was a profound moment right there, man, because him telling you, because I lost mine first, man, that right there is so powerful, man, to even express that like that, because I still would have been selfish, like, and God, why? Still why? But we're going to go to the next side, of the positive side of this thing now, because even after a while, and even after knowing everything that you went through, now you can say that you're on the side of healing now. Am I correct?
Correct. Excuse me.
Give us a couple of the signs, a couple of things that that let you know you were on your way to being healed.
Man, when we talk about this 40-day love there, we started that book 2022 is when we started that book, August 2022, right after his birthday. His birthday is August 13th. Right after his birthday, we started this book. In that book, 40-day love there, Christian-based. After each chapter, it has you do an activity with your spouse. And this book, it literally pulls you in and it's like, it's reading you your life. And it calls you to have deep, not no surface level conversations, deep conversations with your spouse about everything from your childhood to your adulthood.
Yeah.
And that really helped. Really helped.
Is it one particular place in the book or a chapter that really stood out the most for you all, or either one of you all?
The whole book is 40 days. It's amazing. We recommend, since we've read that book, we can't tell you how many couples we've purchased the book for, how many people we've recommended it to, and we just finished up a challenge where we just invited couples in to read through it with us again. That's how amazing the book. It changes it changes the way you look at life in general, not just your marriage. So it allows you to see life for what it really is and what God intended and wanted for us to do in this lifetime. And so it makes the arguments and the issues that you have in your marriage become irrelevant. They are baseless and they are a waste of our time. So why are we continuing to focus on those frivolous things when we got bigger fish to fry over here that includes doing God's work?
Yeah.
And so that made him, the things that he used to bottle up, he no longer bottled up anymore. He started to be able to have deeper conversations about it. Now, it started small. Like I said, everything started small and we worked our way up.
Yeah.
But prior to him or us doing the book, he went to counseling, which was something that I really encouraged him to do. He needed to go to grief counseling just for himself so he can talk about and get out everything or anything that he needed to related to Aaron's death without feeling judged, ridiculed, or somebody having a comment that was going to derail him from that healing.
As a man, bro, was it hard for you to go to counseling?
Yeah, it was hard, definitely, because first off, they'll tell us, that ain't our thing.
Yeah.
Talking to a stranger about how I feel that ain't what we do.
Yes.
And even from our youth, we taught to bottle up.
Yeah.
Playing sports, and if you fall, you hurt yourself, you cry, suck it up, don't cry, be seen, not heard. All of those type of things, and all of that compound. So when you get older and somebody wants you to express yourself or tell them how you feel, you can't.
Yeah.
Because all of these years you've been told not to.
Right.
Or taught not to.
Right.
And so the grief group, it was a group of people who had lost loved ones to suicide. And, I would go, she would go with me. And, they would just sit, and just have conversation about the loved ones and how things transpired. First couple of times, I'm just here. Next couple of times, spoke up, said something. And then I stopped going because it got to where I was thinking about it too much. And I didn't want to think about it. So I at that point I had stopped.
But then you went to professional private.
Yeah, I went to a professional private counselor, therapist. Had a few sessions with them, and that's when I really I broke. Let the tears flow, and really yelled some stuff out.
And that was the breaking point right there, bro.
Yeah.
It's something that men don't understand. Tears will heal your mind, your body, and it will send some endorphins over you that can help you be able to think, be able to function. And a lot of men are told not to cry. Crying is good. Crying is amazing, and it will bless your soul, baby. I'm come on in, because I see you got some over there.
I just want to ask a quick question. So I know you say he went to school with his sister. How was she?
Man, we're still working.
Y'all still working on her? Okay.
Yeah, we're still working. She really hasn't opened up and really talked about it. We've done counseling together, a therapy together. It didn't really work. It's something that, you know, she's gonna have to do for herself.
Okay.
But you know, we've talked, and she still really hadn't talked about it.
Okay.
She's the one that found him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And you know, we still hadn't dove into that one yet.
Wow. Oh, Lord, Jesus, help us on tonight.
Amen.
Because I want to still stay positive in every area, which we are positive. I just don't want to I don't want to break down on the night, y'all. But amazing. I want to ask the right question, y'all. That's why I'm over here pausing, y'all. I want to ask the right thing to y'all because I want people to understand this one thing, that life still goes on. What is something that you can give people to let them know that no matter what, we knew we had to be strong for the other children. We had to be strong for each other. We had to be strong for so many. We know prayer, and I know God is the number one source of it all. I know you couldn't have made it without our Father and our Savior. I know. But what can you say to the people that can help them understand that a valley is not where you have to stay? You got to get out of it. You got to get out of it.
Yeah, you do. Community, man. Being able to open up and talk about what's going on, man, with you. And my wife created that space. She created that safe space for me. And so it allowed me to now be able to talk about it. Because, man, I tell you, man, without her, with the constant little, subtle nudges, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you today. What I've done probably wouldn't have happened. And so, man, having the right people around you,
that's it.
And them allowing you your time, because, like I said, grief has no time limit. Because I could be great today, and think about a subtle memory, and it'll take me back. But I wear this chain every day. These are his ashes and his cross, and I wear it every day. If I leave home without it, I turn around and I go back, and I get it. And she got me this gift, and I wear it every day.
Wow.
But I mean, I know you're looking for something like concrete and specific, but it's not with grief. It's just not. And I don't want to, and I know you didn't, but I want to make sure that people know that we don't discredit the prayer in any form or fashion. Absolutely. Because that is literally what got me through.
Okay.
Because God talked to me.
Yeah.
He guided me. And it was days where he had already given up and I was ready to give up. And it was through those prayers that I kept going. God gave me the ability to give him the grace that he needed. And then also to be a part of that grace is being there to support him even through his pain and mine. And the things that a woman, a wife would normally be fussing and arguing and upset about, I had to put to the side because it was a much deeper issue going on. And I think when you recognize that, you realize it's not about you. It's not personal. The way he's responding is not because he doesn't love me. It's not because he doesn't want to be with me or care about me. It's because he's in pain. So let's try to help him heal that pain. But whenever I tried to come direct and fast, he would just blow up. And so that wasn't working. So the prayer would give me another way. it would literally just give me the idea of something else that was super small. Now, I wanted to run because I'm a runner, but I would come with something super small, and he would attach to that, and I get a little bit. The turtle would move forward just a little bit, and then we'd try something else later, and then I would fail because he didn't like that, and I would go back and I'd pray. And I talk to God. I'm just trying to help him, and I just want my man back, you know, and all of those things. And he would give me something else little to try. And I mean, I'm talking little stuff like, hey, let's go to the movies today. There's a movie called, not a movie, a TV series called 13. Mm-hmm. And it's about, it's a whole TV series about a little girl committing suicide. So I watched the whole series because I wanted to understand what that person felt like from the other side so that I could try to get into the parents' mindset from what they were experiencing as well as the child who was experiencing it, right? So that I could better help him deal with it. So I remember first coming to him saying, oh man, you really need to watch this series. It was too much, too quick. And this was probably 2 years in. He couldn't make it through an episode. But I remember later I brought it back up again. And then he did watch it. And it like gave him so much more context that he wouldn't have never known had he not watched it. Just little stuff like that where I couldn't get mad because he said, no, I'm not watching that. Why would you even say something to me about that, about watching it, you know? Because I knew he was in pain. And so I would come back a different way at a different time.
Now I'm ready to get to the part of the organization that you had. How did you go from how you're feeling to I want to start helping with the organization that you have?
Pressure washing.
Yeah. I started pressure washing first. And I named it after him, Aaron Isaiah Pressure Washing. And that helped me, you know, to be able to just get out and do something. It started with that. And then I was just riding in the car one day and it just came to me, Private Tears. I was like, that's a good name. And so I spoke with my wife. I said, hey, what about a men's support group called Private Tears? And she was like, I like it. Where the name come from? I was like, well, me as a man, we do most of our crying privately. You know, who sees our tears? You know, we can get in a car and we can ride for an hour or whatever and just cry. But when we're about to be back around people, we pull ourselves back together.
Absolutely, boy. And
there, you all right? You good? Yeah, man, I'm just tired. No, we've been crying for 30 minutes. So that was the reason for the private tears, because I know most of us, we shed our tears privately when no one else is around. And we deal with a whole lot of stuff that we just keep bottled up.
Yeah, yeah. And
so that's how the organization and Private Tears came about.
So how long has Private Tears been in existence now?
December 22. Mm-hmm. Yeah, December 16th, I believe, 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all doing the math?
Yeah,
did y'all do the math there?
I'm trying to get with
okay.
it now.
Okay.
Yes. So what was the vision though? What was your vision statement? What was the vision behind this actual group?
And just to have brothers have conversations, deeper conversations, instead of we get out, you know, we may talk about something. Well, man, I'm going through that too. But we just got it off our chest. Well, what's the solution? Are we trying to get to solutions? Are we trying to problem solve? Or are we just getting it off our chest, but we still gonna deal with it and just keep dealing with it? Or do we want to problem solve so we don't have to deal with it anymore? We can heal from that and move on with life instead of it done came up again 2 weeks from now.
Right.
Came up again 6 months from now, or whatever the case may be.
So what's the age? Is the age limit, or what's the age? Is that?
It's just been mostly grown-ups, but I have had a couple of teenagers and young men in before. The youngest I've had was a 16-year-old kid that was from Florida, living here with his grandmother. And the man, he's a mentor. He had brought him to the group. And so we were talking, and I just asked the young man, how did he feel, being away from his family and being up here with his grandmother, because, his mom, stepdad, and all of his siblings, they're back in Florida, but he had to come here. And the guy asked me, and he told me how he felt. And after the session, the guy that brought him, he said, man, I would have never thought to ask that young man that question. Mm. I was like, yeah, because we live in so much of be seen and not heard. Mm-hmm. He feels too. My son was 14.
Yeah.
His little boy 16. He feeling something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Two things real quick, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Come back and plug in. One, y'all see me over here smiling as he's talking, and it's because I'm just so proud of the steps he's taken to get here. So when I talk to you about those little conversations, what he's saying now are those little conversations that we were once having that he wasn't wanting to have. And so I would just keep coming back. Instead of me trying to get a whole page, I'd come back for 2 sentences, And we just kept working through it and having the conversations about pain and communication and working through. And it grew into the conversation about men not having those conversations, especially with their wives, because they don't want to come across as vulnerable or, weak in any way. So a lot of times men hold that in. So as we were having conversations and talking about those things, I'm like, hey, what about having these conversations with men, like what you and I are having? And then he came back with, the private tears. And I'm like, hey, let's run it. Mm-hmm.
In the meetings that you had with the men, and this is one thing I want to talk about a lot about this month. What are your thoughts about fatherhood? And then do you all have those conversations in the men's group about fatherhood?
Yeah, we've had talks about fatherhood. I personally, I grew up without one. My father, like in my bio, my father committed suicide a month before I was born. Mm. But my mother, she married when I was 12. I believe I was 12 when she married, and he's been amazing to me. And, I don't. In the beginning it was stepdaddy or my mama husband, but as I got older, it's like, nah, that's my pops.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he, excuse me, he's been great, showing me a whole lot of things, and we as fathers, man, we learn, parents, y'all know, we learn that a lot of this we learning as we go too. We're growing up together, really. The older we get, the more we know.
Yeah.
Our children are learning more. We're learning more. And then, stepping out of really what we've been taught and learning something different to where we can impart something new into our children instead of the same old go to school, go to college, get a job, work. Now, let's think outside of this box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's one thing that, and I hate to say that, but the African American community right now, we don't do that with our children a lot. And fathers, that's one thing that we lack in, bro. I don't know if you were able to do that with your other kids, but I love cultivating my children and taking them places, letting them see different things, giving them different opportunities. And like we had a conversation last week with a young one child that had their father, one child that did not have their father. And when you hear the dynamic of the way this one thinks with the father and the way the one thinks without the father, it really puts you in a position of we really, really have to understand that in this community that our fathers are needed. Was your father in your life, Dom?
Oh, that's a trick question. Yes, but I got a comment from what you just said, though. I think that as a community, if you grew up without your father and you speak with that person 9 times out of 10 would tell you, Yeah, I grew up without my father, but I'm fine. I'm okay. I didn't need him because we've been conditioned to cover that pain. Wow. And that's what we've told ourselves as a kid. And now in our adulthood, we think that was okay. That was never okay. That's not what God intended for us. And so I had a father. My mother and father divorced when I was 5 years old, and I was 1,000% daddy's baby. You couldn't tell me nothing about my daddy. And it was a difficult time from age 5 until 16. During that time, he was in and out of my life. And probably from 10 to 16, I didn't hear from him at all. And as you can tell, I'm outspoken. So one day at 16, I was just fed up with all of the excuses I had heard over the years. And I went through several channels to obtain his contact information. And I called him and said, why? And he gave me, his reason, which was it hurt. It was painful to see you and your sister and not be with your mom, that kind of thing. And he had moved on, started another life. And that was just easier for him. And so at 16, I made the decision that I wanted my father in my life. I told him that's what I wanted. And was he willing to do his part? We let go of what happened prior to then. He said yes. We moved forward. And in my adulthood, we were as close as you probably could be. In his, he's no longer with us, but in his later years, me and one of my other sisters were the ones who took care of him. And so I've never been a person to allow negative things to control my life. You spoke earlier about, the trauma and the pain and teaching and showing people how you can work through that. We all are going to deal with things in life, whether our fathers were there or they were not there. We have to, when we become adults, we have to do the work. Mm-hmm. To heal ourselves so that we can show up in the way that we wish that person or anyone else would have showed up for us.
She hit dead on nose.
Now, listen, amazing people, y'all, and I'm gonna say this real quick. I kept trying to beat around or try to throw something else in there to give, something special, like it's something else out there. And I'm gonna give you I was waiting to say this to you. Prayer is it. And I cannot express this enough. So many people think and think that it's another source, it's something else. Mm-hmm. You have to hear from Christ. You have to hear from my Father. It is no other way that these feeble, finite minds we have can control or even go through situations that he has taken us through and still be able to be sane, still be able to function and be productive. You all are productive. You're doing things to help other people now. Mm-hmm. In spite of your pain, you're helping now. You're able to smile again. Even though, bro, I'm looking at you now, Emerson, and I can see in your eyes, bro. I can see healed in
but
your
still
eyes.
Pain.
I was gonna come back and say that.
We're gonna keep it.
I was gonna come back and say that. I can see healed, but I can see hurt as well. But I know you're going to be all right, though, man. And that's the part right there, is because I know that through the prayer, through the wife, through the saving of, your soul from Christ, that you're going to make it through this thing and you're going to be all right. So give my people something positive right now, bro, that can take them to the next level. Christ first. We know men need mental health. If you need to go get it. But what's another thing you think men may need?
Man. Just open up. Don't stop looking at, what I've been through as an embarrassment or what I've been through as being shameful. or what I've been through is not perceived, may be perceived in a negative light or a different way. I saw a quote that really helped me, and like now, I don't care about if somebody tells something that I've said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they come, man, so and so told, yeah, I said it. Now let's have a conversation about what I was talking about.
That's good, man. That's good.
Because I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. I no longer feel like I need to be quiet about anything that I've been through in my life. Because the quote that I was talking about, your story is somebody's survival guide. So
give me that quote one more time,
yeah,
bro.
Your story is somebody's survival guide.
Your story, we need to make a shirt. Your story is someone's survival guide.
Yeah.
That is good. That is good. Keep keep going.
So talk about it, man. We don't, if you think about it, a lot of men before us, they left here broken and not healed.
Yeah.
We don't have to walk around broken. We don't have to walk around on eggshells and not be healed. We can be healed and live a productive and great life.
Real quick, ladies, is it easier for women to go through things and be able to communicate and heal and talk? Do y'all feel like that's an easy thing for women?
I think it's a trick question, because what is healed is the first question. I think what we consider healed in our minds is not going deep enough. So I don't think as women we're naturally doing the deep work either, because nobody wants to feel that pain, wants to remember that situation. And in order to truly heal, you gotta, based on what your last 2 episodes, the therapist spoke about that. You gotta be willing to put in the work. Yeah. If you're not willing to put in the work and go deep to the source, you're never really truly healed.
That's good.
So I don't think that the average person, male or female, is doing that deep work. Now we'll take a time from a breakup, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And say, oh, I'm not gonna date right now so I can work on me. But are we really doing the work behind that?
Yeah, are we really getting to the root cause of it? And I'm agree with you. No, not at all. Because no one wants to really get in there and dig. And to me, we're selfish. We don't want to say, "Oh, I messed up," or it's anything on our end, because it's gonna take, like you said, some work, and it's not just do it a couple days. It's every day chipping away at it so that you can feel better. Well, I totally agree with you. No, I think everybody's it's a facade. We want you to think we're healed, but deep down it's still there, and it's probably wearing on us mentally and physically each and every day. Yeah. Definitely. So it's
One question real quick, y'all, and I'm gonna let this gonna be the last one of the night. If God took you today, both of you all, what would you want people to remember about you?
Did you just not do
we just had this whole conversation.
Wow.
Was it last night or night before last?
Wow.
Okay.
Last night.
Wow.
So we're not laughing because we ready to go. We're laughing just because of the irony of it all, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll start. I was one of those people who was there. Red showed up. I'm sorry, I said Red. Emerson showed up. That was my brother. That was my friend. He showed up. He helped me. And man, that's all I could ask for. Like I've literally played a video. I saw myself literally playing a video at my funeral, and just talking to my buddies, and even having a conversation of, I don't know where I am on this line, because we all got to go at some point.
Yeah.
But having a conversation with a couple of my brothers, have you ever thought about where you were on that line? Am I gonna be the first? Because the older we get, the more people we lose, and so along that way, where am I on that line? And by the time my time comes, I love that man. That was my brother. He helped me through this, through that, through this, and he was there for me.
And we can have these conversations because we've had these conversations.
Wow.
But for me, one of my primary purpose and missions in life is to help people live out their best life. And that can be a cliche because I'm going to go deeper and I'm going to help you get to the root of your purpose and help you figure out how to implement that into your life. So when I leave, I think that people are going to say I've impacted their life in a positive way. I help them change generations to come from that point on. Yes, because if you ever get to your best self, it's going to change your life and everybody's life associated with
connected to you.
Yes.
Wow. Amazing. Y'all, time has went by super fast, y'all. We love you all. You have been listening to WFTB 104.1 FM, Tab Nashville Gospel Radio. Another amazing, y'all. We are so blessed to have you all on tonight. We thank you so much for just coming to support our platform. But you all, we'll be coming back next week with another powerful episode. You all have been listening to Sacrificial Conversations, and we love you all. Y'all have a blessed night.